going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the C's Monroe Show. I am your host. I just left the theater from seeing A Quiet Place Day 1, and I'm here to talk about it right now, only on the C's Monroe Show.
You can't have a cat in here.
It's a service cat.
So A Quiet Place Day 1 is the third installment, first prequel, kinda, of the Quiet Place series. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you why I personally didn't enjoy this film. And there's gonna be spoilers here, guys. So if you haven't seen the other Quiet Place films, I would go another direction right now. But for those who are here to understand why you're not going to enjoy this film, at this point, you're going to go see it. Reason being, you're already invested. This is the third film. It's kind of like how they got me with Hunger Games. I watched the first one and I just had to finish the series. Unfortunately, it was terrible all the way through, but I started it. You know, you got to finish what you start. That's neither here nor there. Personally, I feel like they filmed this film in the aspect of you've seen the other two films, and unfortunately, that's not what a prequel is supposed to do. It's supposed to lead you into the other installments of these films, and that's not what we got here. Secondly, I felt like there was a lot going on in the beginning of the film that kind of told us how these creatures react to certain things, and I just feel like that wasn't told to us until part two. Actually, no. Everything that we found out in part two is what they were trying to tell us in day one. And it just didn't work and if that was the case, then part one of A Quiet Place, they would have known about this information already. And unfortunately, they didn't. So I felt like that was bad filmmaking. Going into the dialogue of the film, I felt like first it was too much damn dialogue for it to be A Quiet Place. And maybe I'm used to people doing the sign language and all that other good stuff. I just felt like they was just talking too damn much, and they were talking about nothing. Nothing important. Nothing as to pertain to the film. They were trying to do character building. It was like a good 20, 30 minutes of character building with the two protagonists. Honestly, guys, that's not what we're here for. We know what the hell's going on. We want to see what happened day one with this situation. We don't care about people's personal lives. It's not just me that thinks this. We're going to see when those Rotten Tomato reviews come out. I already know it. But again, you're already invested. You're going to go see it. Definitely go check it out. But you're not going to be happy with it. That's just bottom line. Another issue I had with the film was the ending. I don't want to ruin this too much, guys, but honestly, there's just, with the main character, you know what's going on with her from the beginning of the film. And it's kind of like if she's going to do what she did at the end of the film, if she would have just did that a little earlier, we wouldn't have had this film. And then there was a lot of parts in this film that I felt like they just wanted to get a scene done in certain buildings. Like we seen the part in the trailers where the creatures are like crashing down on this glass building. The reason they went into the glass building, the way they got into the glass building, it was just all bad. Like there was no need for them to go in that building. So I felt like we were forcing something to happen that really didn't need to happen in this film. But it made for a clear shot, so I know the director was just waiting to shoot this shot. It just didn't work for the film. Secondly, there was parts in this film where it was just like, what is this leading to? And it showed us like the creature's habitat and like where some of their food sources. But again, it didn't explain much. And on top of that, it was a pointless scene unless we're about to get a part 4 next year, which is not going to happen. It's probably going to be another 2-3 years before we see a sequel. But still, even with that, you should say what's going on in this certain scene. I don't want to give too much away, but with that, it was just, I just feel like it was disrespectful. Like you're literally creating something and telling us nothing about it, and you're just trying to milk it at this point. And again, we already know that day one was a milk session in the first place. This movie was not needed. And honestly, anything after the first film wasn't needed at this point. But I get it. The movie costs pennies. It makes millions. Of course, you're going to make another one. So here we are. But unfortunately, I give this movie a 3 out of 10. I felt like this movie was watchable, but it wasn't enjoyable. It's not rewatchable. And honestly, I'll probably never watch this movie again. So tell me what you think. Are you guys seeing A Quiet Place day one this weekend? Let me know down in the comments. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.